Hi, this is Eric Daw from OmniFit, and I don't know about you, but my life has taken a huge change over the last 2 weeks. And I'm sure in terms of what's been going on in our world, it's made it a lot harder to be active and just exercise. So for seniors in particular, I know that's tough because if you can't get outside, and I know a lot of seniors like walking, you're not able to do it, particularly based on what's going on. So I wanted to put together a bit of a workout that you can do really short, but I think you can do at home with little or no equipment. So let's go. So when it comes to equipment, I'm going to keep it real simple. You only probably need 2 or 3 things. Number one, I'm going to ask, do you have a shopping bag? So something like this, something that you can put things in and it's not gonna break if you put something that weighs in it. Next, I'm gonna have you get, if you don't have weights, 2 cans, something that has some weight that you can hold. Last but not least, for weights, maybe not, but just use your hands. If you just have your hands, that's good enough. And a chair, of course. So a chair, like something sturdy that you can use and you can sit on or put some weight on.
So any great workout starts with a warm-up, and this workout is no different. So what I want you to do is just bend down, not a full squat, and just reach your hands in the air. Doesn't have to be a full squat, but as long as you're getting a little bend in your knees, a little bend in your hips, and reaching up. The main thing you want to do with this warm-up is get your body ready to move. Your body has to be warm enough so that when it's time to exercise, you don't feel cold. And the problem with being cold sometimes is that's when you're actually more likely to hurt yourself. So after we did this little bend and reaching the hands in the air, we're going to do a few arm swings. Just some big circles with your shoulders. Just big circles like mine. And then once we get to doing, I don't know, a couple of them or a few of them, at least 10, we're going to go the other direction like I've just gone. And again, we want our upper body ready to move. After this, I'm going to have you try to step opposite arm, opposite leg. Just a little bend from your knees. Doesn't have to be a big step, but you're going opposite arm, opposite leg. The surprising thing about this step is it actually requires a level of coordination, which is why I also like doing this as a warm-up. Just as I'm doing right now, stepping opposite arm, opposite leg. After we finish, we're gonna do some arm swings again, right across the body. And the main reason we wanna go right across the body, it helps warm up our shoulders, but also our chest, and pretty much the whole upper body. So we're gonna do a few more of these, and then we're gonna get to the point we do a little small rotations with our hips. Not a full rotation. You're just really moving your hips in a little circle, not a huge circle. So if you have something like osteoporosis, you don't have to worry too much about rotating. And then after, we're gonna go the other direction, just warming our hips and our lower back up. So when we get to moving again, we're ready to move and we don't feel completely cold, when we're ready to start. Okay, so after this, if you can, put your hand on the wall and do some leg swings. These swings are great because they warm your hamstrings and the front of your hips up, and actually your lower back up too. So we want to do a few leg swings. See how my upper body's still nice and tall? Only thing swinging is that leg, inside leg, forward and back. Then we're gonna switch legs, same thing. We're just gonna keep my upper body nice and tall and swinging that leg forward and back. And please hold on to something or put your hand on something. It's not a balance exercise, so you shouldn't feel like you have to keep your balance to do this exercise. Feel free to hold on to something. Okay, let's begin. So grab your weights or whatever you have. We're gonna do this for 1 minute. Keep your weights at your chest and we're gonna squat up and down. So we're just gonna touch the chair, feel the chair, and keep our upper body nice and tall and go up and down. The one thing I really want you to notice is my knees have a little bit of space in between them, and my upper body, my upper back is tall as I'm going up and down. So as you're doing this, you want to go at a nice measured pace. I'm going about 2 seconds down, 2 seconds up. Nice and measured as you're going up and down. The key in this thing also is if this is too easy, or too hard, you can either take the weights away and just use your body, or grab something heavier. The main thing is that we should feel the front of our thighs are working as we're doing this. And on the way up, we're going to breathe out, and then on the way in, breathe in and breathe out. The next exercise is a wall sit. We want to make sure our feet are a little bit out from the wall, our hips and back against the wall. If it's too hard, you can either go up like I just did, or go as low as you can, where you're going to really feel this exercise in the front of your thighs. So once we're here, you should feel it right in that spot I'm touching right now, but I'm not going to use my hands because I want to really feel this exercise. So we're going to make sure we keep our back, hips against the wall, and just hold this position. If it hurts your knees, go up a little bit higher. But if not, stay right where you are, and you should feel this again in the same air we just finished the squats. So now we're going to move on to deadlifts. And this is where the bag comes in. I want you to load it up with anything you think you can carry, or anything that has some weight in it. So I'm going to put my softener, I'm going to put my 2 weights or my cans. I'm going to put those in it to make sure I have some weight. But you'd be shocked. For this one, I'm even going to use Pink Panther. Yeah, Pink Panther. I'm going to load Pink Panther in there. I'm going to make sure my bag is sturdy enough. And then this is where we get the exercise. I'm going to have you grab it at a certain spot where you feel you can hold it, and it's kind of like the squat, but you're going to be holding the weight. And as you notice, as I'm squatting up and down, the only thing that's bending is my knees, my hips, my ankles, but my upper body, I'm still able to maintain an upright position as I'm doing this exercise. And the key in this one is, again, we're going to be feeling it in those thighs and those glutes, your glutes being your butt as you do this exercise. And I want you to pay extra special attention to this angle I'm still able to maintain, even though I'm going up and down with my body. As you know, I'm not leaning forward, which is going to put more pressure on my low back. I'm staying nice and tall as I'm holding my weight. This exercise actually is really great for pretty much everything we do, because it's really functional, and it applies to pretty much every other activity you do in your regular everyday basis. So the next exercise requires a little balance, because can you hold either a stagger position or a heel toe position like I'm doing right now, and then can you spread your arms at the same time? I really like this exercise because it combines the 2 things we know seniors need: strength, which is what we're doing with our shoulders and lifting our arms up, but balance. Are you able to maintain this position of balance while you're lifting your arms up? So after we do this side, we're going to have to eventually do both sides, because we want to work both feet in our balance. Okay, so we finished the first foot. We're going to go back to the second leg in pretty much the same position, either a staggered foot or one foot right in front of the other. By the time we get to the second round, you should feel your shoulders a little bit more, or you should really start feeling your shoulders by now. But even if you wobble or have a little bit of a wobble, it's important to stay in this position, like I got a little bit of a wobble right there, and work the balance as we're doing our strength exercises. So now for the face pull. This exercise is important because we want to make sure we're in a 45-degree angle from the hips and our arms out in front of us. This one, I'd actually have you use less weight than you used in the deadlifts. And the biggest reason why is we're really working smaller muscles. The muscles we're working are actually the rear shoulder muscles, and you might see them right here. It's those outer shoulder muscles, or those back shoulder muscles, which are so important for our posture. These muscles are key because you sometimes see people with rounded shoulders, and the big reason why is sometimes those muscles in the rear shoulders are weak. If you can do this exercise with maybe even a little bit of weight, it's really good to maintain really good posture. And again, maintain that 45-degree angle from my hips and bring those elbows out nice and wide as I'm doing right here. When it comes to posture type exercises, you can't do much better than a bent over row. This one in particular is a single arm bent over row. And the key on this one is trying to get your body in about a 45-degree angle from foot to all the way to your head. And about 2 seconds up, 2 seconds down, you want to pull that one arm back. The key on this one is only moving the arm. You're not swinging your body, you're not swinging anything else. And of course, we want to do this on both sides. So right about now, we're going to switch arms, switch legs. We're going to make sure we're back in our 45-degree angle, and we're going to do the same thing. And again, as you notice, to really feel this exercise and to really feel that it's going to work those back muscles, and it also works your bicep muscles. And that's the pretty much the muscle that you use when people do arm curls. So you want to really pull that elbow back. And as you notice, I'm still maintaining that 45-degree angle from foot to head. One of my favorite exercises is the hip bridge. And in this exercise, you can use a chair like I'm using, or you can even use your couch. And pretty much you're just going to put the upper back on the chair or the couch, and you're just going to push and squeeze your hips together at the top. Make sure you can even support your head so your head isn't just floating in the air. The key on this is just really squeezing at the top. You should really feel it in your glutes. But if this doesn't work, you always have the option of doing it on the floor if you don't feel as comfortable. It's pretty much the same exercise. You're not getting the same range of motion because there's not as much room from the ground to when you lift up high, like as if you use a chair like I'm using. But the key on this exercise, regardless, is driving and pushing your hips up and squeezing at the top. So you'll see me squeeze right here, and that's really where the exercise gets the most work. Make sure you breathe in, then breathe out. You breathe in, and then you breathe out. You don't have to be in a rush to do this, but the main thing is you feel the squeeze at the very top of the exercise. Last but not least is a great or standard core exercise, which is the plank. And the key on the plank is be able to maintain a very straight or rigid position as you have your elbows underneath you and your toes down on the ground. So I'm doing this on a chair, but you could do this on the floor if this is too easy. You could do this on a couch. So the higher you are in this exercise, it actually makes it easier. So the floor would be harder if you did it on the floor. I'm trying to get all the way to a minute. If this is too long or too hard for you, feel free to stop at 30 seconds, but see if you can get all the way to a minute like I'm trying to get to. The key thing is your body stays in a straight line. As you notice, my hips aren't up, my hips aren't dropped. So can you stay and hold yourself in this position?
So how was the workout? Hopefully it was good. Well, if you can do that workout at least a couple times a week, I think that would be really good in terms of you being more active. If you would like to try a live workout like this, click the link in the description or send me a message. That's it for today. It's Eric Don from OmniFit. Take care.